Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today, Monday night, and this is your destination for the news, the newsmakers, the talking points tonight. The big talking point is coming from Kerala, where a day after those terror blasts that took place, we're asking the big question: is the state sitting on a terror tinderbox? We'll also tell you why the Aam Aadmi Party has had a huge setback today. No bail for the former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia. We'll have that story and plenty more on the news today. This is where you get the news without the noise. The 9 headlines. The Pinarayi Vijayan government under the scanner for allowing a Hamas leader to speak at a public online meet. Kerala Chief Minister hits back, accuses Union Minister Rajdeep Chandrasekhar of playing poisonous communal politics, calls for calm a day after the terror blast in the state. A big setback for Manish Sisodia in the liquor gate case after the Supreme Court now dismisses the bail application of the former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi. BJP accuses AAP of rampant corruption. AAP hits back, says will file a review petition. Enforcement Directorate grills Ashok Gehlot's son Vaibhav Gehlot for over 8 hours in a alleged foreign exchange violation case. He's summoned once again on November 16. Congress claims ED being used ahead of the elections. Maharashtra on the boil again over the Maratha quota war. Homes of 2 NCP MLAs and a former minister set on fire. Shiv Sena MP says he's resigning over the issue. Shinde government says that they will ensure a report on the issue within a month. A day after a train mishap in Andhra kills 14 and injures over 50, Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy visits the injured passengers in the hospital and the accident site. Israel intensifies its air and ground assaults in Gaza as the hostage crisis deepens. Israeli hostage Shani Lok's body found in Gaza. 23-year-old was abducted, semi-naked body paraded by Hamas. Scary images of an anti-Jew hunt at Russian airport. Kill Jews chants by lynch mob hunting Israelis at the Dagestan airport in Russia. Tata Motors awarded 766 crore compensation for investment in the Shingur plant in West Bengal. Rules and Arbitration Tribunal. Tata Motors was building the plant to manufacture the ambitious Tata Nano. The market showing signs of recovery in the green for another day. Sensex up 330 points, Nifty up 94 points. But the story that's breaking this evening, the Maratha reservation row in Maharashtra has now escalated and turned violent. Houses of 2 NCP MLAs in Bid and an ex-minister have been set on fire this evening. Remember, the issue has been boiling for a while, and amidst protests and agitations by pro-reservation activists, parts of the state are tense, especially the Marathwada region. The Chief Minister has called for another meeting to try and find a solution to the ongoing crisis where Marathas, the dominant caste group in Maharashtra, are demanding reservation. And one of the leaders is now on a fast unto death. Let me go straight across to Mustafa Sheikh, who's joining me from Jalna, which has become the epicenter in a way, because that's where the Maratha leadership or reservation leadership is holding these protests and quota stirs at the moment. Mustafa, give us a sense from the ground. The stir seems to be turning violent at the moment. What are the pro-reservation activists saying?
Well, yes, Rajdeep, I am at Antarvali Sarati, where Manoj Jarange Patil is on indefinite fast. But at the same time, what we are getting to hear from Bid, from Jalna and other Marathwada regions, where there are political leaders' houses are being set ablaze. There are highways which are being blocked. There are trains which are being blocked. Various roads are being blocked. What we are hearing right now is that there is Section 144 applied in Bid district of Maharashtra. where there was a lot of incidents of bungalows of government offices being set ablaze. We are also hearing that Chief Minister Eknath Shinde is currently meeting the governor of Maharashtra. The reason of it is unknown. Tomorrow a cabinet meeting is likely to happen wherein some aspects of the committee which has been formed are to be revealed by the government, and that report has been accepted. But at the same time, let me tell you a reason why why this aggression is being seen in this protest. So there has been a peaceful protest by Manoj Janange Patil which is going on for about 6 days now. But at the same time, because he's not eating anything, he's not drinking water, his condition is weakening. And when the visuals and the photos through social media are being circulated of Manoj Janange Patil collapsing, or he's not able to hold a mic, that is leading to an emotional appeal to the masses on ground. And Manoj Janange Patil somehow has become the center, as he's at the epicenter of this entire Maratha reservation state.
You are at the very spot where Janange Patil
here is that because
you are at the very spot in Jalna at the moment where Janange Patil is staging this fast unto death. He presumably is aware now that the situation is turning violent. Who is being held responsible? Are these now political activists who have taken over this movement to, in a way, target the Shinde government ahead of Maharashtra's elections and Lok Sabha elections? Who is behind this violence that's taking place? Have anti-social elements now taken over, or political elements taken over this Maratha Kota Rao, even as you are there with Janange Patil, who seems to be still on his fast unto death?
Well, on record, Janange Patil has clearly time and again appealed for peaceful protest, and he has still said that taking law into your own hands is derailing this entire protest of Maratha reservation which has been built up. There are allegations being made by politicians. For example, Chief Minister is saying that opposition is using these protests to basically go make it look like against government and things like that. But what it seems on ground, when we are speaking to people, they are saying that the weakening condition of Manoj Janange Patil and government's insensitive response to his entire protest, to his entire demand, is something which is emotionally appealing youngsters especially to come on road and take law into their own hands. Back to you, Rajdeep.
Okay, Mustafa, they're joining me from the very spot, the epicenter of what are now turning out to be protests that are spreading to large parts of rural Maharashtra in particular. The protest, remember, demanding reservations for Marathas has been a long drawn out one. But what's happening now is that with elections barely a few months away, the situation is escalating. It's put the Shinde government in a difficult position. And now with violence on the street, with houses of even NCP MLAs being set on fire, it's clear that Maratha reservations could split Maharashtra's politics wide open. What does all this mean? Take a look at this report.
Maharashtra on the boil again. Maratha reservation demand holds the state to ransom again. Hunger strikes, suicides, arson, vandalism. Fueled with a heady dose of politics. With renewed demand for Maratha reservation, the 3-decade-long campaign has got a face in the form of Manoj Janange Patil, a Jalna-based activist with back-to-back hunger strikes.
कि महाराष्ट्र की राजनीति में आगे चलकर जो भी चुनाव आएंगे उसमें आरक्षण ये बड़ा मुद्दा रहेगा, क्योंकि सिर्फ मराठा समाज ही नहीं, साथ ही साथ धनगर समाज, मुस्लिम समाज ये भी आरक्षण की मांग कर रहा है. सरकार के सामने ये एक बहुत बड़ी चुनौती बनकर सामने आ रहा है.
The peaceful protests once again turned violent, with buses being targeted, offices and residences of parliamentarians vandalized. Chaotic scenes in Beed, Maharashtra. Ajit Pawar faction NCP MLA Prakash Solanke's residence set on fire by Maratha reservation protesters. The Maratha reservation fire singes current political dynamic. Hemant Patil, Member of Parliament belonging to the Shiv Sena, led by Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, announced his resignation as MP in support of the community and reservation. Political buzz indicates more resignations to follow. The Chief Minister stepping in, attempting to douse the fire. Chief Minister Eknath Shinde announced the establishment of an advisory board led by retired judges to address the issue, confirming that the government will provide Maratha reservation in 2 phases. But how?
सरकार पूरी तरह से गंभीरता से इसमें काम कर रही है। अभी जो कुछ घटनाएं हो रही है इसका भी विचार मराठा समाज के लोगों ने करना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये इसके वजह से आंदोलन एक दूसरी दिशा में ये आंदोलन जा रहा है।
The Supreme Court had struck down the Maharashtra government's move to provide reservation to Marathas under specially created socially and economically backward class, as it was above the 50% ceiling set by the court in 1992. Giving reservation which would sustain judicial scrutiny is not an easy task. With the 2024 Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha polls just months away, and the India Alliance championing the OBC cause, it's a tough road ahead. Bureau Report, India Today.
From Maharashtra, let's turn to the state of Kerala, where a day after a blast at a Christian convention, politics is heating up in the state. An all-party meeting today, chaired by Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, resolved to ensure that any attempts to communally divide the state would not succeed. Remember, the BJP has attacked the Vijayan government for allowing a Hamas leader to speak at a public meet online. Chief Minister Vijayan today hit back at the BJP also for trying to link the Sunday blast to events in the state where people have come out in support of the Palestinian struggle. How is all this playing out in Kerala's delicate communal balance? Take a look at tonight's special focus.
Israel's war on Hamas is creating ripples in Kerala politics. Many organizations are holding public meetings in support of the Palestinian cause, and one in particular has sparked a controversy. The former head of Hamas, Khalid Mashal, addressed an event in Malappuram virtually on Friday and called for support for Palestinian fighters. The meet was organized by the Solidarity Youth Movement, a wing of the Jamaat-e-Islami. The Pinarayi Vijayan government in Kerala is now under fire from the BJP for allowing the meet to happen.
There is a history of appeasement of radical elements by both the Congress and the left in Kerala.
Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan rejected the BJP's charges.
Jamaat-e-Islami എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സംഘടനയുണ്ടല്ലോ, അവരുടെ യുവജന വിഭാഗമാണ് സോൾഡാരിറ്റി വിങ്. അവരുടേതായ ഒരു പരിപാടി മലപ്പുറത്ത് നടന്നിരുന്നു. ആ പരിപാടിയിലാണ് ഈ പറയുന്ന പാലസ്തീനിയൻ പോരാളി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരാൾ സംസാരിച്ചത്. രാജീവ് ചന്ദ്രശേഖറും അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ കൂട്ടാളികളും നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്ത് സ്വീകരിക്കുന്ന നിലപാട് ഈ പാലസ്തീൻ ഐക്യദാർഢ്യം പ്രകടിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് പ്രകടനങ്ങളും മറ്റും നടക്കുമ്പോൾ, അതിൻ്റെതായ പരിപാടികൾ നടക്കുമ്പോൾ അതിന്റെ ഭാഗമായി കേസെടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് നോക്കലാണ്. അവരെ കേസിൽ കൊടുക്കാൻ നോക്കുകയാണ്. അത് കേരളത്തിൽ നടക്കില്ല. പാലസ്തീന്റെ കൂടെയാണ് നമ്മൾ എല്ലാ കാലത്തും നിന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്, രാജ്യം നിന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്.
Chief Minister Vijayan also accused the Union Minister of poisonous politics after Chandrasekhar's initial reaction appeared to link a blast at a Christian meet to the Hamas leader's speech.
ഏത് വിഷം എന്നല്ല, കൊടും വിഷം, വെറും വിഷമല്ല, അതൊരു ആക്ഷേപമല്ല. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് അലങ്കാരമായിട്ടല്ലേ കാണുന്നത്. അതാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ പ്രത്യേകത എന്നല്ലേ അദ്ദേഹം കാണുന്നത്. അത് തന്നെയാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. പക്ഷെ വിഷം അന്ന് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞുള്ളൂ, ഇപ്പൊ കൊടും വിഷം എന്ന് പറയും, അത്രയേ ഉള്ളൂ.
When I raise these uncomfortable questions, he says I am a communal person. And he goes on to say I spit poison against a community. I never mentioned any community. I only talked about Hamas as being the terrorist organization. The mistake is that Pinarayi Vijayan's appeasement politics for him, the moment anybody talks about Hamas and terror, he automatically thinks that we are meaning the entire community.
England, English, France, French.
Last week, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor had found himself in the eye of a storm after he condemned Hamas terror at an event in Kozhikode held by the Indian Union Muslim League to show solidarity with the Palestine cause. The political showdown in Kerala has also triggered a response from Israel, which has urged India to declare Hamas a terrorist organization. An attempt to burn a train by an alleged radical earlier this year and now allowing a Hamas leader platform to speak, the question remains whether radical groups are on the rise in Kerala, a state that prides itself for its secular values. With Shivimol KG, Bureau Report, India Today.
So is Kerala sitting on a terror tinderbox? Is there a bid to create a communal divide in the state? Are radical groups on the rise in Kerala, as the BJP is alleging at the moment? Joining me now is Shehzad Poonawalla, the BJP spokesperson. Lavanya Balal is spokesperson Congress. MK Munir, MLA and leader Muslim League, is on the phone line. MA Baby, senior leader CPIM, is joining us. And I want to start with you, Mr. Baby, because it is your job to maintain law and order. A rally is allowed of the Jamaat-e-Islami's youth wing, where they have a Hamas leader online, the Solidarity Youth Movement, saying they want to uproot Hindutva and apartheid Zionism. Now, how can you allow then Hamas to participate in a rally at a time like this, when there are serious questions over the way Hamas has launched terror attacks in Israel? All of this is seen to build a certain radicalization within the Muslim community, and the Kerala government is being accused of turning a blind eye to it.
That allegation that Kerala government is turning a blind eye towards any extremist activity, it is totally unfounded. Kerala government is taking all possible steps to ensure that terrorist forces, extremist forces are not able to influence people and incite them into terrorist activities.
No, so why was this rally allowed? Why was a rally involving a Hamas leader allowed?
Yeah, you see, first of all, I don't know. The state of Kerala, legally working organizations are having full freedom to organize programs in solidarity with Palestine or with any other, liberation movement. I don't think they might have mentioned that we are going to have the message of Hamas leader would be played. I don't know whether it was a recorded message which was played or it is an online, conversation or address. Anyway,
but doesn't it worry the Kerala government that this can be used? You're saying freedom of speech. You're claiming freedom of speech that is respected by the Kerala government, and therefore you have allowed it. Am I correct? That's the stand of the Kerala government, that this falls within free speech.
You see, we have to see what was the content of his speech. It is only speculation and hearsay. Then Kerala government would definitely investigate whether there was any statement inciting violence or extremist activity was there in the speech, the recorded speech of the Hamas leader. Now, Hamas is not a banned organization. That also we should understand.
I've taken your point, Mr. Baby, but let me for a moment bring in Mr. Poonawalla, because Mr. Poonawalla, look at how it plays out. This rally takes place. The next day, on Sunday, when there is a blast at a Jehovah's Witness gathering on a Sunday morning, immediately the BJP goes into overdrive and seems to draw a link between the rally where the Hamas leader was online and what happened the next day. When the reality is, it turns out to be someone called Dominic Martins. Now, this is part of the problem. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, your leader, jumps the gun and immediately draws a link. You seem to be also fishing in troubled waters.
Rajdeep, thank you very much. First of all, Rajiv Chandrasekhar did not jump any gun. In fact, I remember his statement verbatim. He said that what is happening in Kerala is the platformization of radical elements. And there has been, you said, seems to draw a link. If you have definitive statement that we have concluded both to be one after the other, then you please provide that.
He says the blasts have taken place just 24 hours after the Hamas leader's speech. And Congress left are indulging in appeasement politics. What is the connection between the Jehovah's Witness blast and what the Hamas rally? He seemed to suggest there's a Muslim group behind it without doing any investigation.
Rajiv Chandrasekhar, now Mr. Rajdeep, you will have to hear me out as well. Again, I'm saying, Rajiv Chandrasekhar stated two facts. One, that a Hamas leader was given a platform where the agenda was also uproot Hindutva, etc. And that is a truism. Secondly, the blast took place within 24 hours of that. That is also a truism. In fact, you must ask Rajdeep that if they do believe that whatever has happened by Jamaat-e-Islami is indeed not correct, has the Kerala police taken any action on Jamaat-e-Islami till now? Point number two. Isn't it a true fact? Now he says that Hamas is not banned. Let me give him some other examples. Mr. Baby, PFI was banned. When was Omar Salam, who was given a job in KSAB, removed from the job that he had in the government department? Why wasn't he removed when the Kerala police himself had arrested him in 2020 for anti-national activities from 2020 to 2023? Why was this man who was with PFI, who your police arrested for anti-national activities, not kicked out of KSCB? Chalo, forget that. Elathur train attack took place. Immediately, the IG immediately says that Shahrukh Saifi is a person who's mentally unstable. Thereafter, the NIA steps in, and thereafter, the Kerala police and the SIT acknowledge that he was a highly radicalized individual who was watching Zakir Naik's videos. Leave that also aside. Now, let me come to 2-3 facts that I need to state about what has happened in Kerala. First of all, here is a statement of Mr. M.A. Baby, and I hope Rajdeep, you will ask him. This has been published on 9th October in Times of India. M.A. Baby, when asked about the attack by Hamas, says, Israel is a terrorist country. The Hamas attack is only a retaliation to what Israel has done earlier. If you are labeling Hamas a terrorist organization, then you have to accept Israel is also a terrorist country. This is M.A. Baby's quoted statement. Then let me also quote to you what Mr. Swaraj has said, who is a CPIM leader. This is when Shashi Tharoor on an IUML platform calls out Hamas for terrorism. Mr. Swaraj says, Tharoor has shown solidarity with Israel, and he slams Tharoor and says Israel is a terrorist state. Then Mr. Munir, who's also on our show together, he goes ahead and says, the British used to call our freedom fighters like Mr. Azad and Bhagat Singh as terrorists. Resistance in Gaza is being labelled as terrorism. When somebody will go for genocide, those who are hurling pebbles are now using more vigorous means to resist, and therefore this is not called a terrorism. This is the statement of Mr. Munir. Can I please ask Rajdeep, if you
Mr. Munir,
can ask these panelists,
Punawala,
the actions of 7th of October, are they terrorism or are they resistance, and are they actions that are justifiable?
Okay, let Mr. Munir respond.
Please ask them this.
Yes, I will certainly ask them. I will just a minute,
categorically,
Mr. Punawala, you cannot hijack the show. You cannot hijack the show. They have every right to respond to you. Let Mr. Munir respond. Mr. Munir,
also three
Mr. Munir,
panel,
no,
so
sir, please put down his volume. Mr. Munir, very clearly, as Mr. Punawala is suggesting, you had a meeting where Shashi Tharoor speaks out against the Hamas, says Hamas has resorted to terror. You then draw, as per the statements that have come out, an equivalence between what Hamas did and a freedom fight, a fight for resistance. Are you saying that Hamas is not a terrorist group? This is a resistance group, effectively justifying what happened on October 7 and thereby allowing Israel-Gaza, Palestine politics to play out in Kerala in ways that are potentially dangerous?
First of all, I would like to say that my speech was not a reply to Shashi Tharoor. Shashi Tharoor has said whatever, he has the freedom to talk about his views on our stage. He should not be aligned to the policies of our political party organization. And I was not talking about any organization. I was talking about Palestinians who were resisting themselves.
How do
And
you
this
see
is
Hamas,
not,
Mr. Munir?
I am
No,
saying
how do you
that
see Hamas? Do you make a distinction between Hamas and the Palestinian struggle?
you can look into, you can hear my speech once more. I have never mentioned about any organizations. I was mentioning about the Palestinians. The children, they say that they are praying not 5 times, 6 times. They are also praying for their eternal peace for their children. So this is not an incident which has happened on from October. This is there since decades.
Do you
And it has
condemn unequivocally what happened on October 7th, sir?
No, I say that we should look into all the incidents starting from a century, that is decades.
So you don't
Gaza
condemn
has
unequivocally what happened on the 7th, sir?
on 7th. We any innocent people, especially if the civilians are attacked, it is against international law. International law, under international law, it is punishable. It is a crime. But I would like to say that what Israel has done in retaliation to this is about 7,000 out of 7,000, 4,000 are children. Are they members of Hamas?
Okay, so you're saying your focus is on the Israeli attacks in Gaza, which you also believe is a war crime. You made your point. Let me just
Everybody is keeping quiet when 7,000 people, innocent people, civilians are killed.
Okay.
And still you want to say that Palestinians are the real terrorists?
Okay.
And Israel are just a country who is defending themselves?
Okay, you made your point, Munir. I'll come back to you in a moment. But Lavanya Balal, while this is happening, the Congress party, let's get this very clear. You are also being accused by the BJP along with the left of appeasement politics. Do you really see that the role of the Congress party at the moment in Kerala? Or is the Congress unequivocally condemning both Hamas as well as the attacks that are taking place in Gaza and the killing of civilians there?
Good evening, Rajdeep. I think our party has made it very clear about our point of view about Palestine, about Hamas, and about the war that is going on in the Gaza. And the nation, and we stand by the nation when it says we recognize Palestine's right to be an independent nation, and also, of course, we have.
Do you support the idea if a group? No. Do you support the idea if there is a group in Kerala which organizes a rally where a Hamas leader speaks online? Do you support that, or do you believe that rally should have not been allowed to take place?
Rajdeep, I think it is the right to have a rally, but to have a former Hamas leader at the rally, the question is, was it necessary to have this particular leader address this gathering in Kerala? That's very important. But everybody is making accusations about, Congress party. I think it is the norm for the BJP to drag
Please
Congress
answer my
into this
question. I
entire
asked you a
thing.
direct question. Give me a direct answer.
Yes,
Do you
Rajdeep.
believe the rally should have been allowed or not? A rally where a Hamas leader was speaking at the moment, do you believe it should have been allowed or not?
The question is, did we need a Hamas leader to address the rally? Rajdeep, a rally is every Indian fundamental right to hold. But the question is, did we need a Hamas leader to address this rally at this point of time? But let me make it very clear, Rajdeep, December 2022, the Nityanand Rai, the Minister of State for Home Affairs, said there have been 2,900 incidents of communal violence in India in the last 5 years, and none of them have been in Kerala. Well, we are jumping to declare that Kerala is a tinder box, Kerala is becoming communally sensitive, let's also be very clear there have been no communal violence in the state in the last 5.5 years, and most of the communal violence incidents have happened in the Hindi speaking states, especially in the BJP ruled states. Also, I would like to ask the BJP counterparts, when they talk about the terror hub, the question is who decides what amounts to terror hubs in India? And also, why did if the BJP is so concerned about this nation, why did the BJP MP and its troll army go out of its way when the blast happened in Kerala to claim that it was the Hamas-supported Muslim groups
I take your
or the
last
Muslims
point.
of India?
I take your last point, and Mr. Poonawalla, before I go to MA Baby, you must answer that. You cannot get away by saying that Rajiv Chandrasekhar did not jump the gun. The fact is he did. Let's be clear. I've seen all his statements. Rajiv Chandrasekhar drew a link between what has turned out possibly to be an attack, a terror blast, unfortunate, by someone called Dominic Martins, and gave the impression, along with a lot of your social media warriors, that Muslim groups were behind it. This is dangerous. You are in government. Where is the responsibility? Even before an NIA investigation, you are concluding a link between the blast and Hamas. I mean, instead of coming on this program, you should be and defending the indefensible.
Rajdeep.
Why not accept that you jumped the gun?
Rajdeep, jumping the gun is when the Elathur attack took place, the IG is on record to say that
No, please
Mr.
answer my
Shahrukh
question.
Sethi
I'm not
is
interested in
mentally
Elathur.
unstable,
I
and
am
he
not
says that
interested in
because-
Elathur,
one second.
sir. I am interested in
Rajdeep,
what
one
happened
second.
yesterday.
Oh, you're not
Mr.
interested
Shehzad
anymore.
Poonawalla, I will
Rajdeep,
not
you're
allow
not
you
interested
to
in what the IG
filibuster.
says?
You must have
I will answer,
you must
Rajdeep.
have the ability to accept you made a mistake.
I will answer. It's
have
1
the
versus
ability
3.
to accept you made a mistake.
It is 1 versus 3. Give me my opportunity
There is
to
no
answer.
1 versus 3. I want an answer.
No, we have not made any mistake because it is 1 versus 3. The panel can be seen. And Rajdeep, I hope you will at least have the patience for 30 seconds.
No, I want you to
am
answer
again
my question.
categorically saying, tell me where, in which state. Yes, you have to stop interrupting, but Rajdeep, why don't you read out the full statement of Rajiv Chandrasekhar rather than putting your spin or interpretation on it? Rajiv Chandrasekhar has stated 2 facts that took place within a space of 24 hours, which even I am stating on your show. It doesn't mean we have drawn a link. It means that we are showing that there is an open air and open season for radicalization. And by the way, Rajdeep, were you so angry when the IG of Kerala says that the Elathur attack within moments is a mentally unstable person, and later on his own SIT has to acknowledge that we were wrong on this, and in fact, it was a person radicalized by Zakir Naik. At that time, have you asked Kerala government why they were busy whitewashing Shahrukh Saifi's actions? Anyways, leave that aside. Rajdeep, did you see the reluctance of Lavanya Balal, the Congress party, to call out what is clearly an act of radicalization? And she says that, oh, what was the need of having a Hamas leader? It could have been done without Hamas leader also. Today, Sonia Gandhi has written an article in The Hindu. In that article, not one place, Rajdeep, has she called what Hamas has done as a terrorist action. In fact, the abstention that has been done in the United Nations resolution, because we wanted Hamas's actions to be called out as a terrorist action, and the release of the hostages has been opposed by the Congress. So the Congress is actually in the favor of Hamas keeping hostages. But apart from that, more importantly, Rajdeep, please one more opportunity. Now you have Mr. Munir denying his statement, saying that go hear my speech, etc. Forget him. MA Baby is clearly, I have a statement here, and Mr. MA Baby says, if you are labeling Hamas a terrorist organization, you have to accept Israel is a terrorist country. The Hamas attack is a retaliation of what Israel has done earlier. This is justification of the 7th October action.
Okay.
Can you please ask Mr. MA Baby from
Mr.
him
Poonawalla,
and
you
Mr.
made your
KT
point.
Jalil,
Let Mr. MA Baby, who is a senior leader, respond. Mr. Poonawalla, you must allow others to speak. You must allow others to speak. Mr. MA Baby, Mr. Poonawalla has twice repeated this, and the general impression, therefore, he and others are giving is that Kerala is being soft on radicalization, particularly Islamic radicalization in your state. If groups like the Jamaat organize rallies where Hamas leaders are present, surely it can lead to radicalization. In the past, also the Popular Front of India has been accused of holding rallies that are seen to only divide communities. While you attack Hindutva forces, Islamist forces will also therefore come under the scanner. Mr. Baby, your response.
You see, my friend Mr. Rajdeep, first of all, I have to respond about your very pointed question, very reasonable question of Mr. Raju Chandrasekhar having stated something which has nothing to do with the ground reality. It may be a sheer coincidence that today, 30th October, happens to be the 212th anniversary of the publication of a very interesting book, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Only relevance of the title of the book here is that Mr. Raju Chandrasekhar did not display any sense or sensibility, neither the responsibility of a union government. Without ascertaining the facts, he made an allegation in a bad taste. This is all I would like to state.
No, he may have made an allegation. No, his allegation we've dealt with, Mr. Poonawalla. I am asking you the allegations against your government, that your government has not done enough to stop a certain radicalization that is taking place in the state, to get your police to act firmly against any action that could lead to law and order disturbances, including possibly the speech of a Hamas leader at a rally.
Already my Congress friend has stated the statistics, the number of communal clashes that had taken place, whether any serious communal problem had happened in Kerala. These facts are there before the people. Now, I have already replied about this meeting organized by Solidarity. Who knew that these people are there, going to give an online speech? Now, let us come to the direct question, what is Hamas? It is a very, very calculated move to bring the entire discourse and narrative around Hamas. We should know that Hamas is now the elected representatives of Gaza region. They were part of the Palestinian liberation movement. They are the most influential organization there. My party has differences about the approach of Hamas. But Hamas is one of the militant streams.
Do you condemn,
of the
does your
liberation
party
movement of Palestine?
unequivocally condemn what happened on October 7th, sir? Unequivocally.
Very good. Mr. Rajdeep, you know what UN Secretary General Mr. Guterres said. October 7th did not happen in a vacuum. I stated in the so-called oft-quoted, misquoted and misinterpreted statement of mine, what did I say? In this year, 2023, 248 Palestinians have been killed by the Zionist semi-fascist regime under Netanyahu. Of this 248, this is before 7th October, in the year 2023, of the 248 Palestinians killed, there were 40 children. Nobody speaks about that. It was, as stated by me, as the reaction to that, when they were driven, the Palestinians were driven to the wall, they reacted in a manner which I am not approving. But that reaction is not from a vacuum. That we
So
should
you
remember.
claim
Now,
you
for
claim
many,
you are echoing what the UN
history
Secretary
begins
General
from 7th
Guterres said.
October.
Okay, you made your point, but Mr. Munir, the danger
Rajdeep.
is that in some parts of your state.
Rajdeep, 1 second.
No,
Rajdeep,
1 minute,
1
sir.
second.
1 minute, Mr.
Rajdeep,
Poonawalla.
I beseech
Mr.
you for
Munir,
20 seconds.
No, Mr. Munir
Rajdeep,
must.
20 seconds, I beseech
No.
you. I beseech you,
I
Rajdeep,
will let
20
you get your
seconds.
30 seconds. I am
Rajdeep,
actually
20 seconds, I
extending it and
beseech you.
dropping some other discussion for it.
No,
But
no,
Mr.
Rajdeep, I beseech you. It has to happen now. I beseech you.
No, nothing has
In
to
the
happen
interest of
now.
a fair debate, I
Nothing has
beseech
to
you.
happen now. You will be given a chance to respond.
I
Mr.
beseech you,
Munir,
Rajdeep,
please
I
put
beseech
Shehzad's
you.
voice down. Mr. Munir, I heard just now from MA Baby that he believes October 7 did not take place in a vacuum. Is that what the Muslim League is saying? Does the Muslim League support the Jamaat-e-Islam? No, 1 minute. The Solidarity Movement organizing a meeting with Hamas leaders there. Will it not lead to the radicalization of the community on this issue? Is that something you want?
We have nothing to do with this solidarity.
You have nothing to do with them?
No, we have nothing to do with solidarity. It is another organization with another ideology. My organization, we have stood against all the radical organization in this state. We fought this Popular Front. We fought STPI. We are always against the ideology of all these radical organizations. But here, this is, as MABB has said, UN's Secretary General has made a statement. And do you think that UN Secretary General is a radical? Can you label him as a radical? The United Nations has not mentioned about Hamas. And India has said you should mention about Hamas also. So for that reason, is United Nations organization is a radical organization?
So you also are echoing what Mr. Guterres is saying, that the violence of October 7 did not take place in a vacuum. So you and MABB, in a sense, are echoing a similar point. Now, Shehzad Poonawala, take your 30 seconds.
This is not an incident which has started from October.
Okay.
Rajdeep.
No, 1 minute.
No, thank you very much,
On this show, we don't have crosstalk, Lavanya
Rajdeep.
Palal.
Nowadays, we are not able to talk about Palestine. There is an embassy of
Rajdeep.
Palestine.
Rajdeep.
So what are you saying that Palestine?
Rajdeep, it
1
is
minute.
my opportunity.
1 minute. Shehzad
Rajdeep, it is my chance
Poonawala,
to
1
speak.
minute. You must listen to the question. Both Mr. Munir and MABB are very clear. They are echoing what the UN
Rajdeep,
Secretary
first let me
General
come in
said.
for 20 seconds,
Just a
then you
minute.
ask me.
They are
I request
echoing,
you.
they say what the UN Secretary General said. What is the problem with that? They are entitled as free speech to stand up for Palestinian rights. If your government or you don't want to stand up for that, that's your line. And that's actually not what India's government line has been over the years.
Rajdeep, now I please request you to give me just 35 seconds uninterrupted. Since they are quoting the United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Guterres, first of all, Mr. Guterres has come out publicly, and this is there even on India Today and all publications. UN Chief, I am shocked by the misrepresentations of my Middle Eastern remarks. He has totally rejected that he has made this kind of justification. But having said that, please let me tell you, Rajdeep, that Mr. MABB's statement is on 9th of October, and Mr. Guterres' first statement, which he then claims was misinterpreted, was much later. And by 9th October, Palestine was not being hammered, as they are saying, by Israel. And at that point of time, Mr. MABB called Israel a terrorist country and went on to say that if Hamas
That's
is a
his
terrorist,
view. That's his view. Is he not
so is Israel.
Mr.
And its
Shehzad
attack is, one
Poonawala,
second,
is he
its
not
attack is a
entitled to his view?
retaliation. 1 second. Do not interrupt.
Now, do not tell me not to interrupt.
1
Is that
second.
not
Now
his
let
view?
me come to his view.
He's entitled to his view.
Let me come to his view. Do not. Yes, I'm coming to that view. Let me come to that also. By the way, Rajdeep, these people who take one stand in Kerala and come and take another stand here, if Mr. Baby was indeed okay with calling Hamas out for its terror actions of 7th of October, their colleague KK Shailaja had tweeted Hamas is a terrorist organization. She was forced to remove that tweet or Facebook post because Mr. KT Jalil says that you cannot call Hamas a terrorist organization. Israelis are actually dreaded terrorists. Now,
Okay,
when it
so
comes
we've
to
got
the view,
we've heard all the viewpoints. I'm
Mr.
afraid,
Munir
Lavanya, before I could come to you, we have another big breaking news coming in. I have to stop at this moment because the big breaking news that's coming in is, as you can see there, the Enforcement Directorate has summoned Arvind Kejriwal in the liquor gate. In the ED has summoned Arvind Kejriwal is the big breaking news that we are getting. This comes, remember, within hours on a day when the Supreme Court rejected the bail petition of Manish Sisodia. In the liquor gate case, ED has summoned Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister. Is the net therefore reaching, is the ED now reaching Arvind Kejriwal's door? He's summoned by the ED on November 2. Is the big story that's coming in at the moment. So clearly on a very day that the Supreme Court has rejected the bail application of Manish Sisodia, the ED has now summoned Arvind Kejriwal in the Delhi liquor policy money laundering case. That's the big story that's come in at the moment. Remember, this morning, Manish Sisodia's bail plea was rejected. The Supreme Court, in fact, said that there could be a possible link between Mr. Sisodia and the ED's claim that monies were made in the Delhi liquor policy case, and at least for 3 months, Mr. Sisodia would not be in a position to get bail, and the ED has been asked to complete the trial expeditiously. Joining me now is Preeti Chaudhary, who tracks the Aam Aadmi Party very closely. It appears, therefore, on a day of a huge setback for AAP, Preeti, the ED seems to be going for the jugular by literally reaching Arvind Kejriwal's door.
Well, you're right there, Rajdeep. The Enforcement Directorate, for the first time, mind you, has summoned Arvind Kejriwal. Till now, Arvind Kejriwal has appeared before the CBI in the excise policy case. But where it comes down to the Enforcement Directorate, this would be the first time he's been summoned. He's been called on the 2nd of November. It remains to be seen whether Arvind Kejriwal will go. But clearly, you are right. It's just, the Aam Aadmi Party still, quite smarting under what happened this morning. They were very confident early this morning that Manish Sisodia will get bail. And now, because even if you look at the order copy, it also said that the ambit of investigation is now going to widen, where the role of the Aam Aadmi Party is also going to be investigated. The ED had indicated that, and now the first summon directly to Arvind Kejriwal, and he has to appear before the ED on the 2nd of November. He's already appeared before the CBI in the excise policy case, and now it's the turn of the ED, Rajdeep.
So Arvind Kejriwal now clearly under the scanner. This is a story that's going to build up right through this week. Appreciate your joining us there, Preeti Chaudhary. Okay, let me turn to the other big story today in our ground report, which is coming from Andhra Pradesh. Remember, at least 14 people have been killed, many more injured after a collision between two trains last night resulted in a derailment of bogies in Andhra Pradesh, Vizag district. The reason for the collision is suspected to be human error, but it's the second big such collision this year. Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy has also taken stock of the situation. It's our ground report today.
Over 10 people are dead and several injured in a train tragedy in Vizianagaram district in Andhra Pradesh. The accident took place on Sunday evening as one passenger train overshot the signal and rammed another train that was already on the track. Many bogies were derailed as a result. The reason for the collision is suspected to be human error. Railway sources say the driver of the Vizag-Raigarh train allegedly missed a red signal.
Visakhapatnam Palwancha Express was at halt in this direction, during which from behind, it is said that due to over signal or a human error that has caused another train, that is Raigarh passenger, had hit it from behind, where the three bogies have derailed from this spot here. And as you can see, that two bogies, the condition of the bogies, let me show you the condition of the bogies there, which can be seen. It is the most critical situation there, most damaged as of now, as this accident has taken place. The intensity of the damage of the collision.
NDRF and SDRF teams led the restoration efforts.
Restoration works that have been ongoing since late last night after the rescue work had commenced and people had been shifted safely to hospitals. Now tracks have been restored as per usual, and one by one all of these tracks that had been damaged in this tragic accident is now being restored.
The rescue operations went on for many hours. Bodies of victims were seen lying on the tracks. Andhra Pradesh CM Y.S. Jagan Mohan conducted an aerial survey. He met the injured at the hospital. Union Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav took stock of the situation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has extended condolences to the bereaved families. This is the second major train accident after the mishap in Odisha earlier this year that killed more than 250 people. With Abdul Bashir and Apurva Jayachandran, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's take a break at this point. When we return, we'll turn to our Good News Today story. And it's a story that will inspire. You're watching the news today. News without the noise.
by Cola makes you wish everything was as vibrant. Colors by Cola makes you wish everything was as vibrant.
Let's turn to tonight's good news story, and it's a wonderful story. A 16-year-old armless archer, Sheetal Devi, defied the odds to win multiple gold medals for India at the recent Asian Paralympics game in Hangzhou. Sheetal took up archery only in 2022 and has been making heads turn ever since. She's the only current female international to shoot with their feet in the world. It's our good news today story. Take a look.
A gold in women's individual compound archery, a gold in mixed team compound archery, and a silver in women's doubles compound archery. 16-year-old Sheetal Devi was the star at the Asian Para Games held in Hangzhou in China. Using her legs to aim and shoot the arrow, the Indian archer, who was trailing, had made a dramatic comeback to secure the individual gold. Sheetal, who comes from a remote village of Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar district, was born with pocomelia, a rare congenital disorder that results in underdeveloped limbs. But she overcame the heavy odds to achieve sporting glory. A fellow archer and a friend of Sheetal believes that she was destined to win medals.
एक एबल और एक पैरा लगा लो आप, मतलब मैं जितनी प्रैक्टिस करता हूँ शीतल मेरे बराबर की प्रैक्टिस करती है, इतनी प्रैक्टिस करती है वो। अगर मैं मॉर्निंग 7:30 आ जाऊँगा ना, शीतल मेरे को फील्ड में मिलती है हमेशा, एनी टाइम। और जब भी उसकी प्रैक्टिस करती है, वो जिस कॉन्फिडेंस से वो तीर मारती है, तो हमको तो ये बिलीव था कि चाइना जाएगी और कंफर्म मेडल आया हमारे।
Sheetal's sister, who is also an archer, says that Sheetal's hard work has finally paid off.
अब वो सुबह 6 बजे उठती थी, फिर अभी फ्रेश होके नहाना धोना, फिर अभी ग्राउंड जाती थी 7 बजे ग्राउंड, फिर अपनी प्रैक्टिस वर्कआउट वगैरह पर अपनी प्रैक्टिस करती थी, बस फोकस अपनी प्रैक्टिस पे करती थी। बहुत मेहनत की है उसने, तभी अभी तक आगे पहुंची है वो।
The teenager archer's story is a testament to the power of human spirit. Bureau Report, India Today.
Wonderful, wonderful story. We hope to have her on the show one of these days. What we will have on the show is on Friday night, we start another season of Elections on My Plate. I travel this weekend to Chhattisgarh, and I can tell you there's plenty to watch out in that. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Good night. Shubhratri. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Cola makes you wish everything was as vibrant. Colors by Cola makes you wish everything was as vibrant. Colors by Cola makes you wish everything was as vibrant. Colors by Cola makes you wish everything was as vibrant.
Get ready for an immersive journey into the heart of news, politics and insights that matter. Join India Today now on WhatsApp with the #1 election team as we gear up for the upcoming assembly elections. Scan the QR code.
Join India Today now on WhatsApp. Follow these steps. Open WhatsApp on your phone. Check for a new updates tab. Select Find Channel and type India Today. After finding the channel, tap the Follow button.
You are watching India Today.
All right, viewers, big news coming in, news breaking right now. Arvind Kejriwal has been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. It comes on a day when there's been a big blow to the Aam Aadmi Party with the former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia's bail plea being rejected by the Supreme Court. This is huge news coming in. The Enforcement Directorate has now summoned Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, for questioning in the Delhi liquor policy money laundering case. He's summoned on the 2nd of November, is what we have been given to understand. Mind you, he's already appeared before the CBI, the other investigative agencies in the excise policy case, and now this time, for the first time, summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. And the summon comes in for the 2nd of November. Till now, no reaction coming in from the Delhi Chief Minister. I want to immediately cut across to my colleague Shreya Chatterjee, who's joining us with the latest details. Shreya, get us up to speed. Arvind Kejriwal will now have to appear before the Enforcement Directorate on the 2nd of November. Give us details.
Well, exactly, Supriti. So, Arvind Kejriwal has received a summon by the Enforcement Directorate to appear on the 2nd of November in the alleged excise policy scam. And as you rightly pointed out, that CBI had already questioned him in the same matter. It's also important to point that this comes when the Supreme Court has also somewhere down the line denied bail to Manish Sisodia on grounds where they very categorically said that there was the establishment of the 338 crores of money transfer in the entire case, which looks doubtful. So it is an extremely significant summon, especially after what the Supreme Court had to say. And we had earlier ED sources saying that they had also taken what the Supreme Court said as a sort of vindication. So it will be a very interesting thing to see how things pan out. But right now, 2nd November is when Arvind Kejriwal will have to appear appear before the enforcement director.
Shreya, we're still waiting, to hear from the Delhi Chief Minister and his office on whether he will appear on the 2nd November or he'll ask for further extension. But the big question, Shreya, remains, number one, there's also talk that the Aam Aadmi Party could be made accused in the excise policy and money laundering scam. Now, what of that? And second, what could the investigation tantamount to in terms of role of Arvind Kejriwal in this case?
Well, first and foremost, the entire case will be investigated on the grounds of what the entire excise policy was. And remember, he was the chief minister when this policy came into place. There have been allegations. We've already seen the arrest of Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh in the matter, and especially after Dinesh Arora turned approver, he had suggested in his statements that he had also met the chief minister via Sanjay Singh, Manish Sisodia, and that was a statement that has come in from a person who's now from accused turned into an approver. So it will be an interesting day of questioning so far as concerned, but this will mostly play out politically because Aam Aadmi Party earlier has also not shied out from hitting the streets. They have done it in the past and most likely will also be seeing a repeat of the same on the 2nd of November when he appears before the Enforcement Directorate.
Shreya, what of, with what has been debated off now and what your sources are telling you from the ED that the Aam Aadmi Party could very well be made an accused in the case?
Well, yes, that's what both the agencies have suggested in the Supreme Court, that because of the fact that the allegations also pertain that the money that was actually being received as kickbacks were used for funds in the election. Remember, there were 2 elections that happened the same year. One was obviously the Punjab election, and simultaneously we'd also seen therein.
All right, Shreya, I'm just going to ask you to hold on. Just stay with us. Let's cut across to Saurav Bhardwaj from the Aam Aadmi Party. Listen in.
हो जाती है कि केंद्र सरकार का एक ही मकसद है किसी तरीके से आम आदमी पार्टी को खत्म कर देना। जैसा कि खबर आ रही है कि अब केंद्र सरकार की ईडी ने दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री श्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को सम्मन भेजा है 2 तारीख का। इससे बात साफ हो जाती है कि केंद्र सरकार का एक ही मकसद है किसी तरीके से आम आदमी पार्टी को खत्म कर देना, और इसके लिए वो कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ रहे। किसी तरीके से कैसे भी फर्जी केस बना के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को जेल पे बंद किया जाए और आम आदमी पार्टी को खत्म किया जाए। जैसा कि खबर।
All right, Saurav Bhardwaj from the Aam Aadmi Party stating the Aam Aadmi Party is taking the line that this is a witch hunt and the entire nexus was building up to the arrest of the chief minister, and this is political vendetta. Meanwhile, let's cut across to reactions coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party.
पे जाएगी तब इस्तीफा देंगे। और दूसरी बात, वह ये भी बताएं कि ये जो 338 करोड़ रुपए था, ये गुजरात में, गोवा में, उत्तराखंड में चुनाव में खर्च किया नहीं है, पंजाब में ये चुनाव में खर्च किया या नहीं किया।
सर, एक सवाल है शिवसेना को लेकर, जिस तरीके से पार्टी का हो या शिवसेना का, दोनों का ये कहना है कि उनके पास तमाम एफिडेविट्स हैं, तमाम सबूत हैं जो पार्टी बिलोंग करती है बाला साहब ठाकरे को शरद पवार का।
अब वह मामला कोर्ट के संज्ञान में है। अगर उनके पास कोर्ट के फैसले के उल्ट कुछ कहना है तो कोर्ट में जाएं, परंतु इलेक्शन कमीशन और कोर्ट के फैसले के बाद कुछ बहुत बचा नहीं है।
सर, राजस्थान के मंत्री हैं, आने के बाद से ही कुछ सीटों पर जरूर थोड़ी सी फाइट है, तो उनको लेकर बीजेपी ये सोच रही है कि बहुत ज़्यादा टक्कर होने वाली है।
एक्स्ट्रा तेज फ्रॉम इंडियन ऑयल, सेलो रिश्ता जिंदगी भर का।
No ceasefire with Hamas, asserts Israel.
We cannot afford again ceasefires or any arrangement that is leaving Hamas with any kind of capacity to attack again and to accumulate power.
Huge mistake to provide platform